Okay, so little tutorial on how to change ATV tire. This is how it gets installed. Recommendation you don't really want to do this when it's freezing cold, preferably, but I know that sometimes you don't have a choice. But if you can, take and lay your tire out in the sun. It is so nice and pliable and movable. When you do that, it makes things tons easier. Also beforehand, make sure you get yourself some soapy water. And if you should really have some tire irons. I have 2 different ones. Longer is usually the better. A little more leverage. This is a learned skill, so even though I show you this, it's gonna be very difficult. It's not impossible, but it is difficult. So you want to lube up on the tire. You might want to check, like this, the old tires that I just pulled off, these actually have an arrow on them. Right here it says rotation, and this tread pattern has some arrows on it, and it's designed to use it in a certain manner. You look at these tires and you say, those don't look like they're bald, but they, on my bike, the instant I hit the throttle, it just spins the tires everywhere. So I almost didn't make it up a gigantic hill climb because of those, and so it's worth changing the tires for me. New tires, a little more tread, a little more blocks, and of course the tread is taller and brand new, so yep, it'll make a big difference. This bike has got an extended swing arm. I'm hoping this will help do wheelies. I really like doing wheelies. Extended swing arm is anti-wheelie. But anyways, so these tires are not directional. They are the newest Chinesium tires. They're $115 for 2 of these things, so it's a pretty good price. They look just like the old hole shots. You can see one over there. It's already on rim. Should make a big difference, but all right. Here we go for install. I don't know if we'll have a different video that starts before this one to show the uninstall, but we've got more tires to change on a TRX 90. All right, so here we go. Lube it up. And you want to get the valve stem away from you. That way, when you're putting this on the rim, you see how the rim has 2 sides to it. All right, this is what is usually the back side, and usually what is the front side. Sometimes rims are reversed, so you can have a nice deep dish on the outside, so that this will be on the outside. But ultimately, when you're changing tires, you want to make sure that you're putting on the tire on the side that has the shortest bead. This is what's considered the bead area, and because the tire is the same diameter as this, you need to be able to get the tire over the bead and into the middle of the rim in order to be able to stretch it over around that. That's the only way it works. Otherwise, it's the same size. So if you start on this side, you're really gonna have a rougher time. You gotta go that much farther. It's very difficult. Make sure you're working on the side with the smaller bead lock on it. So, and then also, if you are working on the side with the valve stem, you want it away from you, you're gonna start pushing the tire on from one side, and then you're gonna work it on so that it comes on, and that'll be the first side. The first side's with these small rims. They don't fit my tire machine, unfortunately. So I gotta do them by hand still. 54 years old, still spinning tires on. So, yep, this is what it's gonna look like. Sometimes very rarely, but sometimes you get really lucky and you just shove it on and it'll go on the first time. But this is more what it looks like. So I'm gonna take my tire iron, I'm gonna hold the tire over on one side with my knee, and I'm gonna pull the tire on the other side. And I don't know if you can see that, but I pushed it down underneath the bead, and then I'm working it around. I can promise you, I do make this look a bit easier than it is, but this is the way that you do it. All right, so.
I think some of your lube came
off. Need a little bit more lube here.
Can never have enough lube.
Yeah, lube is key. The slipperier, the better. There we go.
That's what she said.
Yeah, all right. So now we got the first side on. We're gonna work on the second side. This just reminded me. So I have a friend, his name is Tyson, and I race in the famous race King of the Hammers with him. And the tires were in the Ultra 4 class, which is the top of the top. The tires that they run on there, you actually almost run a tire inside of a tire, so that you have kind of a run flat deal going. But oh my goodness. So my friend Tyson is he's been changing tires at least as long as I have. And I would say now that he's changed those, he's above my level of changing tires because they're incredibly hard. Yeah, well, maybe we'll have to do a video on that and just so you guys see what that looks like. It is insanely hard, but this is going to be easier. So, all right, as I said before, make sure you got your valve stem away from you. On the other side, you're going to start with your knee on this side so you can push the tire bead down under the bead of the rim, and you're just going to start working it around. And this tire is definitely being very nice to me because it's all nice and warm. All right, voila, that's how it goes on. Now you're like, oh my gosh, how in the world are you gonna make that tire seal up? Well, there are a few ways I'm not gonna show you, but you can take a tie down, a ratcheting tie down, and put it around the tire and ratchet it tight so that it pulls it together, and it'll hold on. It'll make it so that it catches on the rim, and then you're able to inflate it. The way I am going to show you is, it's definitely some more money. It's an investment, but it makes it infinitely easier. It's called a bead blaster or a tire blaster, and it blows air into the tire at an extreme rate. So there is one other tool that you need to have. It is this valve core chuck, if you will. This way you can put your air line directly on the tire to have maximum air going in while you blow the air in. I'm actually going to put some hearing protection on. Jennifer is too, because this is really loud. Usually we do two of this. I'll show you how to do it with one since she's filming. So this guy goes on here. You want to make sure and have your valve core out. If you have valve core in, you won't get nearly enough airflow in there, and you'll be very frustrated because it just won't go on. We're going to take and squirt this down real good. First, we'll take our air chuck off because we're not going to need that at the moment. Lube it up real good. As we said before, lubrication is key. All right, I have found that if you have something to support the rim above where the tire is, it works better. The last time I just did this, it fell off. So we'll see if that happens again. But this is how this works. All right, you have two valves on this tank. One valve is for filling it, and one valve is for letting the air out. Before you put the check on to fill it, you need to make sure the valve to let it out is off. I've done that many times, and yeah, it just wastes time. All right, so now you put your air line directly on there, let it fill up. Has a little gauge on it. I don't really watch the gauge too much. I just listen to it, and I can tell when the air stops going into it. And it's pretty much done right there. So you turn the valve closed. Now this valve goes onto the rim.
We need hearing protection.
Oh, yeah, we need to get our hearing protection. Ah, yes.
This is very loud. Which they will hear it, but they won't understand probably how loud it is.
Yeah, maybe for those of you with headphones, you may want to turn the volume down. This is loud. All right.
Okay, I'm gonna set it down for a second. You're gonna look at the inside. I put my ears on.
All right, hearing protection. All right, now we're gonna put the air chuck on here. That's what it looks like when it doesn't work. So, we'll try this again.
Well, maybe I can set the phone somewhere. So you fill that up and I'll set the phone. Let's see here. Like right there. There we go. Okay.
Oh, we got a delivery coming. Oh. Hang on. Hello. How you doing?
Doing good to yourself?
Excellent.
Yes, sir. There you go.
Okay. You too. Thank you. All right. I don't know what these are, but we got it. Okay. Here we go.
Round two.
Round two. All right, we're gonna get this tire centered on there. All right. Turn that valve. Put this on here. And voila! And the beads pop very easy on this tire because it was warm and it was lubricated. Sometimes, holy moly, you think a gunshot went off when the bead pops on here. And sometimes you're, literally afraid for your life because of how much air it takes to pop that bead. These tires were definitely easier than the normal. Not a real great example of how to fight with these, but put your air core, your valve core back into the valve stem. I put new valve stems in every time I do tires because these things, I don't know, I bought a whole bag of them. They're 50 cents or $1. It's definitely not worth having your dry rotted old valve core ruin your brand new tire that you just put on in just a short amount of time. So hot tip, replace the valve stems when you replace your tires. It's just cheap insurance. So, yeah. All right, I've got my nice little digital gauge. I'm gonna put 5 PSI in these. I think that's what we're gonna start with. I did buy these nifty little chucks. I need to look up the brand, but they're really cool. A lot of the other clamp-on style valve chucks don't hold on, they leak, they're frustrating. And with a truck like that, it's got 6 tires that take a lot of air, 100. You don't want to sit there holding this on the whole time. It is not fun. So with these, you can just take and push it on, and then boop, slide the collar down, and voila. You don't have to hold it. It doesn't leak. It's nice. I bought 2 of them. I only have 1 installed. You have to have the right hose attachment on your gun. So that was the issue. I haven't bought another one. Shame on me. But that's it. That's how you do a tire change on ATV Tire. See ya. Oh yeah, please like and subscribe if you like the content, and we'll be making more.